Hello YouTube, this is Zenit Manticore back again with Hearts of Iron 4. This time the Millennium Dawn mod. It says, it is what it says on the tin. It's a mod for Hearts of Iron 4 that sets it in the modern era. There's a 2000 and a 2017 start. Today we'll be playing the 2000 start. I've got a lot of randomness going on with the AI. Those that you can set. Uh, no one's set to any one path. It's all completely randomized. That being said, for this playthrough, there's quite a few major players that we could pick, such as the United States, Great Britain, France, Russia, China, even a rising India. However, I think it's going to be fun to play as a little African nation. It's going to be very slow. It's going to take a lot of time for setup. But I think that it'll be interesting to kind of sit back and watch how the rest of the world develops while also trying to unite Africa. So that'll be my primary goal, is uniting the entirety of Africa, nation by nation. Some of these are going to be a little tougher than others, which we'll get more into once we get the game going. But obviously nothing really happens over here. Europe is going to be Europe, China is going to be China. So this is going to be interesting. I really want to see how things play out, and not really kind of influence things until I have to, really. So let's go ahead and get right into this. So this mod has seen a lot of development over the years. It's the primary mod that I'm using. I do have a few others mixed in there a little bit, but we will kind of see what all we have to offer. But as I was saying, this mod's seen a lot of development over the years, a few restructures, and here just recently they finally released an update that expanded on the economy of the mod. There's a full-on economy system. Until now, your country's economy really didn't mean anything. You could set these as high as you wanted, and you never really had any repercussions. Now, however, um, hmm, see if we can't find one. All these guys are at war. I guess no one's hit that point yet, but you can go bankrupt, and you will see a lot of very, very powerful negatives. So, we're going to be playing as this little nation, Burkina Faso. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. First off, France is majorly dominating our nation, and if you go to another nation, you can see doing stuff like this. If you let it get bad enough, then they can economically exploit you, which ends up taking some of your civilian industry. Or if you dominate them enough, you can just outright turn them into a puppet. But so we need to kind of get that number down just to where we are independent. In here we've got lots and lots of options. Yes, this is how you combat foreign influence. These are nice new options that are available. So until now, starting out as one of these tiny African nations, you didn't really have a lot of options when it came to construction. I mean, obviously, you want to go ahead and start off with a couple of civilian factories, but you see, that's going to take you 324 days, or 3,124 days. But you can just pay 1 billion, and you get 3 factories for 90 days. These cost a lot less, but at the same time, they just give you an easy plus 25% boost. So those are greatly useful. Specifically, yes, this one and this one, purely because of that very nice, very nice construction speed bonus that they provide. So we're going to go ahead and disable that. Once we can actually afford these, which once our money starts ticking up, that'll be nice and helpful. You can purchase various bits of equipment, from tanks to infantry fighting vehicles to actual small arms, stuff like that. So, in a pinch, they're useful, but if we go to, say, the infantry fighting vehicles, you don't get a whole heck of a lot, and they get quite expensive. So, not really something that you want to worry too much about. This really just gives you plus and minuses to opinion for different for the different countries. A lot of them are considered illegitimate, I guess. So we've already got the construction out of the way. We start off with no factories, none whatsoever. So that, not really helpful. We've got 2 troops. We really can't take on anybody at all. However, we'll just say that for now. We've got crippling corruption, which is great for a political power gain, but is atrocious for basically anything else. And that costs, obviously, political power in order to get rid of. You've also got your economy. So we want to try and hit economic boom and let it sit there. We don't want it to move. Very few of these have no negatives. They're all going to cost something. So what we're going to do in order to get started is we're going to go straight into light industry investments. Obviously it says we have enough for those, but we really don't. Research. So what we obviously can't produce anything at the moment, so a lot of these are not that useful. And it doesn't help that our research speed is atrocious right now. So we're going to go ahead and go with neural networks revival. Microprocessors. And oh, this is another nice one. They finally were able to introduce a man-the-guns compatible version of the mod. That's one of the things that we've been waiting for quite a while, actually. So, very grateful to see that. We've got different types of submarines, different ranges, all that. Come down here. Yeah, so we've got light guns, chain guns. Come up here. If you go with the cruisers, then you can actually see the revival of battleships. Horribly, horribly expensive. But I mean, it's the wow factor. Am I right? Obviously, as a small nation, we're not really going to be able to do anything with that. Let's go ahead and what to do. Could work on some new stuff like that. These really aren't going to be super useful, considering we're in jungles. And I don't think we've really got, like, special forces groups. Yeah, I don't think those are a thing. So, well, you've got quote-unquote special forces. Let's go ahead and work on a new small arms. So we come in here, let's look at this. Yeah, it's a single airborne light infantry. Oh, interesting. Yeah, one minor issue. They can be parachuted, but we don't actually have... Oh, even if we had military factories, we don't have... I might go with some helicopters. But we don't have any form of planes. Like, no transports, no nothing. So, not really much point in having a doctrine researched on that. But, back in here, that's our main division. We're going to be editing this because this is absolutely atrocious. But let's take a look at the special forces. Ooh, so these guys might actually be useful. Makes a... Well, let's see what... You bring it up to 16. You bring it up to 17, and then... What if I do that? Okay, so that'll become our... Yep, this is going to become our Special Forces group once we have the Army experience. Due to our... Come over here. Due to our recruitment law, our conscription law, we actually get ticking Army experience. This limits how we interact with those around us. This changes our officer training, which gives us... it could give us ticking Army experience and higher command power, which is this right here, used to purchase... used to promote your generals, as well as to give them upgrades and whatnot. But it also increases the starting level, which can be useful, but it can also hurt you. In the short term, it can be very useful because the level of a general determines how well he or she is able to do their job. And if your general is a higher level than the opponent's, then you're more likely to select a tactic in battle that counters what the opponent has. That being said, if you recruit them at a higher level, lieutenant general, for your armies and your army groups, I can't do anything, but the biggest issue is the fact that if they start off at a higher level, they don't get to earn points in these skills. So they just start off at, say you go up to this, their starting level is 4. So they start off at level 4, but they don't get all these skills. They're all at level 1, so they don't get all these nice bonuses, which we'll see what a level 1 general looks like. For now, let's go ahead and roll. If you guys have any questions about this mod or about the game in general, and you feel like you could use me explaining it, please feel free to drop a comment down below, and I will be more than happy to explain anything in it at all to the best of my ability. Okay, so the United States caused world tension with the Elian Gonzalez affair. So this right here says that I'm not producing stuff for my division reinforcements. That's because I don't actually have factories with which to produce those things with. So I really can't do anything about it. My only hope is to get this done and potentially cheese my way into this. Oh yes, I can get up to 2 more research slots. There's really not a lot that I can do. Okay, let's see what you offer. You don't... Okay, you offer civilian factory construction speed. You also offer that. Okay. Honestly, I'll probably go with the industrial ones, because it seems like they offer a bit more, not a lot, but you need civilian factories in order to build anything, like anything and everything. If you don't have factories, you literally cannot do anything. Morocco wants a non-aggression pact. I will happily sign that. So we're starting to gain some army experience. Starting to gain a little bit of money, not a lot. And we are gaining quite a bit, but not as much as I would have liked from political power. So... No. I'm gonna go ahead and bump that up. Doesn't actually cost me anything just yet. Which increases my political power gain. And I'm gonna keep on increasing it just because it's just good. So something I've noticed about this mod is political power in the early game is extremely difficult to come by. You're always spending it on something. There's always something to buy, something to upgrade, something to about 2005, 6-ish, I've noticed that usually I've gotten to the point that I've gotten so much that I almost don't even know what to do with it. Okay, so cheese. Oh, that's why that was so high earlier. Having a national focus go costs you one flat political power per day. Egypt wants a non-aggression pact. I will happily sign that. So yes, oh, I guess I'll go ahead and get into resources. So whenever you are producing something, say these, they cost one of this right here, which if we come over to trade is light metals. You can use one factory to get up to, ironically, that shows the right amount, but you can only get up to 6 for one factory. Granted, when you only have one military factory, you don't need as much. But the reason that I went ahead and put these guys on the border of Ghana is because of this right here. They've got, let's see if I can select it. They've got 5 light metals, 12 steel, and 2 oil, or petroleum. The petroleum isn't really that useful until I start having like a larger air force, a mechanized army, stuff like that. But the steel and the light metals absolutely are crucial. Okay, so that's done. Let's go ahead and do this. Infrastructure. In addition to providing a multiplier to the movement speed of your troops, which if you hover this, you can see that here. It also provides a bonus to how quickly you construct something. And I believe it is a 7% bonus per level. In normal Hearts of Iron 4, I want to say it's yeah, I want to say it's a 10% bonus, but in Millennium Dawn, they kind of cooled it down a little bit to 7%, but they also introduced these mobile radio masts, which I don't have any unlocked, but they also provide like either a 2 or 3% multiplier. There's really not much that I can do at the moment. I'm just trying to get as much industry going as I possibly can, because if you fall behind early on, well, with the position that you start in as one of these smaller nations, I've I could have started off as this guy right here. Not even going to attempt to pronounce that one. But no resources, no nothing. Literally has to start off with nothing. Which ironically lets you jump your GDP through the roof. I think that's actually as high as it gets. Yeah. So, because they only have the one spot, they were able to technically push their GDP through the roof. Ooh, Equatorial Guinea? No. Okay. So we're going to keep an eye on some of these nations that are at war because the ones that don't do so well and start taking out money, you'll see that bankruptcy thing kind of rear its head. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go with economic, well, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do economic boom once we have the political power to do so. Because with that, we'll have a bit more of an economy. Granted, this level of debt is reducing our tax revenue by 30%. This one would give us 5% back. But, I mean, right now it's not really that much of a big deal. So we're just gonna bank the power and work our way through this. Plus we have... Ah, yes, because we have the 2 civilian factories, we have more money coming in. I could do this. What are we at right now? 2.84. Where does that bump us to? Alright, and now we're starting to spend money on that, which... not the most ideal. But this is 3.17, so I'll consider that worth it. Starting to accumulate some experience, not a lot. Obviously, we can't go to war with somebody with the military that we have. That just is not feasible, I guess. Especially one who, if we come over here, we know for a fact they've got 1 civilian factory. We know for a fact they have 2 military factories. So Ghana already starts off quite a ways ahead of us. Like, we really can't do much to them, and they're able to stockpile a lot more than we can. Granted, we can't stockpile anything at the moment, but that will be overcome in the future. I'm just kind of flipping through things because there's only so much I can do. Obviously, we're not really making money at the moment. Fantastic. Next, we're going to go ahead and do this. It's going to give us a building slot to where we can't increase our GDP. Oh, here we go. So, going to go ahead and swap over. Now, the thing about this, if you notice, cost, there is a cost associated. This is going to take the majority of our money in order to do. But at the same time, we'll start being able to make more of that. The biggest difference is Um, oh, hello. Vladimir Putin lost in Russia. Putin's career is at an end. How about that? So the biggest difference is the relatively speaking minor increase to construction speed, um, which is a flat bonus. Says he's still going. What? France? Oh, okay. That's a normal thing. Ooh, Britain looks like they're about to pick their path. Which, that could be interesting. America? America, what are you doing? Um, America? What you doing there, bud? Hope that doesn't, explode. That's definitely something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, we're just over here, minding our own business. Not harming nobody. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's going to put us in negative. But as soon as they tick over... Yeah, so now we're starting to actually make, not a lot, but more money than before. Granted, that adds another billion to our debt, but I think we can afford it. Let's go ahead and raise the taxes. So, taxes are kind of a double-edged sword. You can raise taxes, which raises your income, which lets you pay for higher levels of healthcare, education, etc. But that is at the cost of your tax cost. The higher this is, the more factories you have to put into the tax cost. It takes factories, and really your only way to influence that is through modifying some of these things, having high stability. The focus I'm going after, which is attract foreign investors, removes 5% off the top. Stuff like that. So right now it says our tax cost is at 8%. Well, means we've got roughly, I want to keep it right around 10%. So we've got one more on that. Oh, yes. Raising the taxes also reduces the popularity of your ruling party. So bear that in mind. But yes, that's huge bonus to our industry. And oh, the elections were going on, and Vladimir Putin managed to hold on. We shall see how long that holds. Fraternite? What's this about? Oh, they're going... They're... France. Why are you bringing back Napoleon? This is going to be very interesting. Oh. I see. That's going to be very, um, very interesting to see once they get that going. Uh, I'm quite interested, actually. Okay, so I'm going to keep that at 10%. So 1 out of every 10 factories would end up going to that. We can afford that. We'll adjust these as we can as we grow. But that's just a little bit of an introduction to the mod, to the world we're going to be playing in. Oh, I wanted to see... Okay, I don't think you're actually doing anything. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're just focusing on your military. Oh, that's interesting. They have to go straight for it. Neat. Yeah, so quick overview of the mod, and a bit of an introduction into the world we'll be playing in. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and ring that bell notification icon so that anytime my videos go live, you get a notification for them. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other.